Hello everyone. Thanks for joining me for this recorded summer term professional services staff briefing. Whilst obviously we can't be together for this briefing, I hope that I can bring you some useful information. I know we've all been hearing a lot of this is a challenging time for all of us, and it may feel like it's losing its significance, but it's a very real statement. This is hard and it will be like this for some time yet. One of the things that's kept me going has been my colleagues and the way in which we are facing this together. The sense of community feels stronger despite the distance, and hope we can retain this quality of being in this together long after we're able to move on from COVID-19. Normally these updates would give you some insight into the decisions happening at SMC, but in fact we've been sharing our decisions along the way in our weekly updates. So for this update I'll touch on a couple of key topics, answer some of your questions, share some of my favourite comments submitted by you. And of course things are moving very quickly in so many areas, and what I will say here will of course be subject to change. All the evidence so far seems to indicate that won't be a problem for you. In terms of finance, last week we outlined the financial picture and the measures we're taking to manage the impact of the crisis. I want to reassure you that our key priority is to protect and support staff, and that any discussion of reduced pay for high earners will be with full consultation and is likely not to impact the majority of professional services staff. We're making savings through reducing non-pay budgets, re-examining hiring proposals, and delaying our capital projects, all in an effort to keep us on track until the dust settles and we have a clearer picture of our future forecast. Some of these decisions will be unwelcome, I suspect, particularly the scrutiny over recruitment, but we really do have to cut back in order to cope. I was overwhelmed by the amount of praise for colleagues that came through in your responses. It was really great to see just how many of you have taken the time to say such nice things about your colleagues. Special mention from you though, especially for DTS, who have kept us going and delivered what was an entirely new way of working in such a short amount of time. Thank you also to our staff who are coming onto campus to keep it secure and coming to halls of residence to look after our student community. ARD, departmental staff and the Eden Centre have also done a fantastic amount of work to get us to the summer term assessment period, and I know so many will continue to support our students during this time. So many more people right across our PS teams have made such a difference. I also know there will continue to be big challenges for professional services in the next 6 months as we get used to a new normal in this phase of our response to COVID-19. As well as weathering the financial situation, we're planning and thinking about welcome and the start of the academic year, and in fact we'll be looking for volunteers to help us with what will probably be a very different welcome week this year. Next week we will launch the LSE Curriculum Shift 2020, preliminary guidance on flexible options to deliver education and community building for our students in the academic year 2021. We're also making efforts to sustain and further our social science research activities, especially in relation to COVID-19. Importantly, I've asked Julian Robinson, Director of Estates, to lead a group of people mapping out how we can return to in-person working based on government guidance and scientific advice. We don't plan a mass return to the campus. Our response will need to be measured and coordinated, and the early government guidance appears to support that approach. On to your questions. I was overwhelmed by the amount of praise for colleagues that came in from your responses. There weren't that many questions, but the ones that came through are important and I want to address them here. The first one is asking, has the school considered providing a means for staff to remain connected to LSE while working from home? This person is lucky enough to have their own laptop, but others aren't. And this is a personal laptop and it's now becoming filled with work-related files and programs. Is the school going to provide staff with laptops or even subsidise the cost of desks or office chairs? This is a great question. This is a real challenge for many organisations right now. Hopefully everyone will have taken the online risk assessment questionnaire which was sent out last week and should help to identify where additional support is needed with the help of an external ergonomics consultant. It's certainly something that we are regularly discussing as we begin to understand how long we'll be in this position. We don't want you coming in to collect equipment, importantly, but if an assessment outlines the need for additional equipment, we will try to get that to you. So watch this space. The first step is to complete your online risk assessment, so if you haven't taken the time to do that, please do. Second question, congratulations on achieving the Bronze Award from Athena Swan, an organisation that recognises and celebrates good practice towards advancing gender equality. What does that mean for the organisation? And is the plan in the future to go for the Race Equality Charter mark when life resumes a sense of normality. This is a great achievement for the LSE, which acknowledges a vast amount of work to get to this point, and even more that we have yet to do to achieve greater gender equality. And yes, our plan is to go for the Race Equality Charter mark as well. Some work's already begun on this. We were hoping to send a survey out about race issues over the summer, but for obvious reasons we're reviewing the timelines, and this will now take place in the autumn. The final question is, what's my lockdown snack of choice? Well, it's cheese. Actually, it's cheese and cake and biscuits and a few other things too. I'm trying to cut down. Later this month we'll be running a live event with all of SMC on the 19th of May, where you'll have the chance to ask questions to us all in real time, so look out for the details and please do try to join us. Before we close the day, a moment of thought. I'd like to remember Sherry Vade, who recently passed away due to coronavirus. Sherry joined the LSE in 2010 in the finance division, and those that knew her said she was a joy to be around. I know colleagues are missing her greatly. I know that a number of us in our PS team have lost family members, and I'd like to take just a moment to remember those that we've lost in this time and to thank those that are keeping us going. Finally, thank you all for joining me today. I hope to see you virtually later this month and look forward to the day when we can all come together in person to celebrate your incredible hard work. Take care and stay well.